Yeah, okay. All right, Brandon Bornancin, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here and help provide as much value as possible to the audience as I can.
So, Brandon, tell us, a little bit about your current position, and then, why don't you go into the story of how you became a leading sales figure and a LinkedIn, you know, like the GOAT basically for sales. And why don't you talk about that, man?
I don't know about the goat, man, but that would be a goal. That's a big goal. But yeah, so quick story. Came from a poor background. Family worked 4 jobs. Dad and mom had 2 full-time jobs as like blue collared, people. And then my dad was working in the mall, selling like computer hardware back in the day when you would like literally sell Apple computers and what was it? Like old school Dell computers, like in Macy's. He got approached by a sales executive from a small company called CA Technologies. They offered him a job and he, as an intern. So like as an analyst intern, he took that job and then ended up going from analyst to VP of sales to building the first software company to do over $1 billion in sales. And that had a big impact on me growing up in middle school and high school because I went from super poor, the kid that got made fun of for having like garage sale clothes and, eating out of cans of food, for an early stage of my life, to then seeing my dad like move up the ranks in this software sales gig, like no college degree, high school degree. And my dad just hustled and was gone 5 days a week in New York, which I hated as a kid. But, he worked his ass off and, my family got really wealthy from his sales career, selling for CA Technologies and literally taking them to the first software company to do $1 billion in sales. So when I was looking to get into college, I'm like, I want to go into sales. So I joined the only college that had a sales center. It was also the #1 party school in the US at the time by all the best blogs, called Ohio University. So I got lucky to have kind of like, okay, I could go to this top business school with the top sales school and the top party school, kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Went to OU and when I was studying business and sales, I just was a big gambler, online poker. And then a bunch of those companies approached me to market for them. Kind of like how you're an affiliate for Splash,
Yeah.
Seamless.ai, and these other
Yeah, I
platforms.
want to I want to get into affiliate marketing, and I also want to get into like why sales is like a scalable type of business and how you're able to make so much money, but I want to finish your story.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So like you're an affiliate. I became an affiliate and launched my own affiliate company for party poker, filter poker, poker stars, you name it. And as a freshman in college, took it to $1 million in sales, and then a sophomore took it to 3 million, and then as a junior, took it to 6 million, and was probably the richest kid in college at the time.
So when you're saying sales, that's like sales through your affiliate link, and then like what was
Yeah.
your commission on the 6 million?
So like this was the deal. So they're like, we'll pay you $150 for everyone that you get to join these sites and deposit and become an online gambler. So like I went dorm to dorm, knocking doors, giving people $50, literally pulling up their computer, signing them up, and then I'd make 150 and 100 net. So I just went to every college student in my dorm, and at this time online poker was fucking going like raving. It was going ecstatic. Like it was right when online poker hit the scene. It was like right time, right industry, and all the college kids were on top of it.
Like
So
we're talking like crypto in 2017 while it's just like booming.
exactly. It was like Bitcoin just came out. It's booming. People are talking about it. And that's how online gambling was 2004. So
Okay.
I did that and, went dorm to dorm, literally like door to door sales. Then I took it online and I had one landing page. It was literally one landing page. And like I had like 5 to 10 people working for me and a shitload of online marketing. So this was before Google and all these online sites made it like where you couldn't do Google ads for these industries. So again, I got lucky
Uh,
again. So like I was doing it before Google ads made it, made it possible to advertise on Google ads for online gambling. So
Mm.
I got lucky there.
Like you wouldn't be able to do that with
You
Facebook
couldn't do it
ads
now.
today.
You couldn't do it now. You couldn't market party poker on Google ads right now.
Mm.
So, and then took it online. And once I took it online, it went gangbusters. Like everyone wants free money. I'm like, dude, I'm giving you free money. Sign up. Like it's free. I'll give you cash. And, but then in 2007, like towards the end of my junior year, they made it illegal to gamble online, USA Port Act, and President Bush shut it down. So like, even though I wasn't gambling, I was marketing a gambling company, but all my clients, they couldn't operate in the US anymore. And I'm 21. I don't know how to go international. Like all I cared about was partying. And I bought all the Mercedes, the houses, the property, and the vacations. Like I'd spend 8 weeks in Florida and all this jazz. So like I was just like, okay, let's start another company. So then I launched two companies, a social network that I tried to run for 6 months and then shut it down because of Facebook, and Facebook owned the market. And then I also launched a text messaging company for flip phones. So like, how you advertise via text message marketing, like, buy vitamin water or
I
buy
think
ice
Gary
cream.
Vee even has like his own text app where you can text him and it'll respond.
Yeah. Like I launched that for Fortune 1000 companies, Fortune 500 companies, but ran that company for 3 years and like lost millions. So I
Mm.
basically made a ton of money and then I lost it all running this text message marketing company. And I'm like,
What was the point of failure in that company if you had to summarize
oh,
it?
I didn't know how to do B2B sales, like hands down. Like I didn't know how to do B2B enterprise sales. I didn't know
Mm.
shit about
Because
how to
poker
sell, like
was business to consumer.
business to consumer. And it was easy. Like I knew it. Like, and I was trying to pitch the B2B text messaging software to like, I closed companies like Vitamin Water, Rockstar Energy Drink, Kid Rock. I don't even know how I got into that deal.
That's awesome, dude.
But Jack Daniels, but like I couldn't sell enough. Like I had 30 people working for me, a 10,000 square foot office space in college, and our expenses, like the biggest things I learned there, like my expenses were through the roof. I was so worried about how I looked to the world that I was like, okay, my next company has to be an even bigger success. I have to get massive office space. I have to do all PR so everyone knows I'm the world's greatest entrepreneur. I got to
Mm.
get 50 people to work for us. And I just didn't realize the importance of filling the funnel with sales leads and then knowing how to sell to those sales leads to sell my software. So lost everything I'd made from the first venture. And I was like, I got to get out. So we ended up selling the company to a publicly traded company called 2Ergo, which was bought by Genesis. And I had to move to New York. And I opened up our New York office in Manhattan, which was awesome experience. But after a year of doing that mobile, now I'm like 4 years into mobile and still no one's buying mobile. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of this. This is terrible.
Mm.
So, my partner who did in mobile with me and the party poker company, Jake Phillips, he went to IBM Interactive and he's like, dude, I'm doing product at IBM. You should do sales for IBM. And you're building like multi-million-dollar websites and you're running social media campaigns that are 7 figures for the world's greatest logos.
Mm.
You crush it. Do you want to come back to Ohio? And I'm like, all right, I'm out. I'm getting out of mobile. Went to IBM Interactive, and then that's where I did enterprise sales for 3.5 years. And that's when Jake and I and my team, like, we're like, dude, we're trying to sell to all these digital marketers. I was paying over $250,000 for these sales leads databases that had no digital marketers in them. And I had the idea like, well, what if we could automate like finding all these people? And then I was like, I got approached by this Google search agency that was the top search agency for Google called Fathom. They're like, hey, you should sell for us. And they're like, all you do is show, like, you invest $1, you make 3, you invest $1, you make 10. I'm like, fuck, I could sell that all day. So I ended up after three years of sales success at IBM, ended up joining Google. And then when we were selling for Google, we're like, we need a way to find every digital marketer and every company that's spending any money on Google AdWords in the world. So we built the prototype for Seamless, which delivers the world's best sales leads, the company that I'm founder and CEO of. We were able to find people's emails and phone numbers for anyone in the world. And we grabbed all the engineers at IBM and Google to build it. And I 10x my income, became a millionaire again in sales. And I'm like, if I could do it, Zach could do it. If I could do it, Jeff could do it. If I could do it, Sarah could do it. Danielle could do it. And instead of like, I sold for Google for 3.5 years, and I made all these like companies, like hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in sales. And I'm just like, if I could help every professional in the world connect opportunity and make millions in sales and marketing, and as an entrepreneur, like they're going to be uber successful. And then that gives me a big mission, and I'll be successful by helping them be successful. And I just became obsessed with building the search engine that finds anyone that you need to sell to, and then uses AI to find their emails, cell phones, insights. And now we're about 4 years in. We launched the product a year and a half ago. It took 3 years to build our search engine and our platform. And that was fucking hell. I almost went bankrupt 3 times. I got fucked over 50 times.
You had to rebuild the platform from basically ground up 3 times.
3 times. So like you built, like no one knows how hard it is to build like the platform that we built. We make it so simple and easy to use, but to actually build a search engine that finds every professional in the world that you should be talking to.
I want to jump in because I've actually used the software. I have a video of me just going to a contact that I was going to sell a video project for for my video marketing company. And I went on to his LinkedIn profile. I hit find with the Chrome extension, found his contact information, and I just called him up right there. Left him a direct message straight to his voicemail. But it was his cell phone. Like, it's pretty crazy how, like I didn't need a business card. Like I just clicked it. I'm going to start selling Seamless because ultimately your mission, that's why I resonated the most with you, your story and your mission of like actually helping people become incredibly wealthy, generating that value. Because like if you're, making Google hundreds of millions, you're just getting a piece of that, you're getting some share of that pie, right? So it totally makes sense.
I appreciate that, dude.
So like it's nothing like, that's what you probably get is sometimes people like, Grant Cardone probably gets this a lot, like with his jet and things. But it's like if you're just providing more value to the world, then you deserve to drive whatever car you want, or fly however you want, first class, or whatever.
For me, it's not about the jets and the Rolls Royces, like Grant does. Like you don't leave a deal where you're making $1 million a year to go like. I would
you almost went to you had an opportunity to go work for Grant.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to work for Grant, and he's a big influence on my career, as well as like every sales author. So like I love a lot of what he does, but I also like disagree with like I think he could have a bigger impact without the flashy bullshit. But on my end, like I didn't make any money. Like I didn't pay myself for the first year. Second year, I paid myself like 15 grand. Third year, I paid myself like 30 grand. Like the only way to not blow your brains out during 3.5 years of hell is to have a massive obsession and a massive mission to positively impact a lot of people.
That's the key,
like,
man. That's
for me, 97% of entrepreneurs, I truly believe 99% of entrepreneurs would have quit. All my management team, they're like, no one else would have been able to pull this off except for you because you're fucking crazy. I've gone through so much hell, people stealing from me, people like the impossibility of like having no money and building a search engine, and engineers that don't work out. Like the amount of hell that we had to go through to get to where we're at today. You just know it's very hard for anyone to like survive and thrive in that.
If you were just doing it for the jet, for those external reasons, when it got tough, you would have quit.
Yeah. I just had this obsession. I'm like, what if like LinkedIn and Facebook and all these social networks are great, but like it still doesn't empower you to connect with people fast enough. Like if we can help someone find a new customer that pays for their mortgage, help you find a new video customer that then you can now pay for your daughter to go to private school, or to save for her college fund, or maybe you're living in an apartment, or you're living in the housing, like, secondary housing. And I help you find that one customer that then helps you buy a house or an apartment to help you provide for you and your daughter. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Like we're trying to change people's lives.
Everyone is kind of like connected. Where I like when I was flying over the United States, and you look at all these little cities and roads, and it's almost like we're all like, I almost look at it like ants in an anthill. Like we're all kind of working together to build this thing, and we can all rise and grow together by creating those opportunities, and reducing friction of like getting someone's contact information, the decision maker. You can basically filter out all the opportunities that aren't going to work and just find the ones that are. So it's basically a no-brainer to close that deal. Dude, like watching your content, it made me want to like fall in love with sales. It made me want to like actually like love sales, because like being an engineer, I had a bad taste always of sales. I thought they were always just scamming people. But
Yeah.
it wasn't until I kind of like quit my engineering job to do video content over the last year, and like I resonate with a lot of those things about what you're saying, like is my mission to change this legacy industry to like industrial automation, to adopt video content, to adopt open transparent policies, to change the mindset of like succeeding and getting wealthy is bad, but it's actually, no, it's not bad. It's good, because you're creating opportunities for other people. Like you said, that person who might be in, shelter housing, and then, they boom, move up,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Well, like check it out. So we've almost got 50 employees, right? Let's just say you help us create a video, and we bring on, it acquires 1 million users, and that 1 million users then results in X revenue for us. And now I could hire another 50 people. Your one video that you just did for Seamless.ai or for Rockwell Automation, who's a customer of ours, customer of yours,
Yeah.
you just created 50 jobs, and those 50 jobs then now created opportunity and provide for 50 families. Like that's what it's about. And the sleazy, slimy salespeople that just care about the commission and hard selling and closing, like the wolves of Wall Street, that shit doesn't work out, because eventually like people will catch on to that story,
Right.
that bullshit, where you have to have a big mission. You have to just be so focused on being a servant to helping your customers maximize their success, and your service is helping them do that.
Have you ever heard of what's like known as the prisoner's dilemma?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I haven't.
Have you seen the game Friend or Foe?
I think so. Yeah.
So
But
it's
I
where
read
like,
it. Yeah, go.
So it's like basically where, two people work together, they compete at a game against other teams. And then at the end of whoever wins, those two people, there's like 10 grand. And if they both go friend, they choose separately. But if they both go friend, they split the pot. If one goes foe and the other one goes friend, the foe basically steals the entire pot.
Oh,
But
wow.
if they both go foe, neither of them get anything. Right. So the idea is in the short term, going faux like ends up you yielding more profit. But when you're playing this game over and over and over again, which is basically the equivalent of, building a personal brand online, like you're not just in it for one game, you're going to keep playing this game day in and day out. So it makes more sense to go like, that's the prisoner last time, because he went faux,
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that makes total sense. And that's the deal. Like when I did Seamless, I knew that I had to have a decade long mindset. Like I'm going to go all out for 10 years. Like if I lose my house, if I lose everything, like I'm just so obsessed with this mission of empowering the world to connect to opportunity. And I mean, I had to pitch 337 VCs. Like, dude, you've no idea how painful it is, one, to pitch a VC, because like they tell you, like if I pitched you Seamless and you didn't like it, you would just tell me no thanks. When you pitch a venture capitalist your idea, they tear you apart, from the team to the product to the company to the location. Like they break you down like you're worthless. And pitching 337 of them to tell us that, and then we finally get some funding, a few million to build Seamless. It just goes to show you, like, you just have to like go all out, be tenacious, never give up, and just believe in wholeheartedly what you have to do. And now we're helping 50,000 companies and users, and we're just getting started, and it's awesome. But it's a lot of hard
looking
work.
sharp today, though, by the way, man.
Thanks. Yeah,
you doing
so
something
funny.
special?
I literally wasn't gonna get dressed up today, and I don't even know why I did. Like, And then I realized I had 3 different podcast recordings. And I'm like, Phil, you got to tell me, like, if I've got shows that I got to do, like, make sure I'm a little dressed up. So I randomly, like, I got lucky today.
I want to make a shout out to Walker Reynolds, my first client, basically.
Yeah, I love Walker.
He did the video of you back in January. I think he started seeing some of your content in his feed when I nominated you for top 10 LinkedIn video influencers of 2019.
Yep. I saw that video. He's like, hey, you may think this guy's a douchebag, but you'll really like him. And I'm like, oh man, how should I take that? And I'm like, I take everything good. Like, I try to learn and optimize from everyone.
Yeah,
he's like,
he meant it in a good way, because I think certain people might have that negative mindset, like like the hustle porn, or just, I don't know, they might just think that they can't achieve that themselves.
Like, I think calling it hustle porn is bullshit, dude. Like, dude, you can learn so much from people. Like, everyone that I talk about how fucking hard it is, so people don't quit when shit gets terrible, because I almost went bankrupt 3 times. I almost lost my house 3 times. I almost died 3 to 4 times building a startup, and people are going to go through that stuff. And the reason why I talk about it, and I don't want to get off topic, we could loop back into Walker.
They should call it lazy porn. Hustling is a good thing.
Yeah, like, the reason why I talk about it is because I want to motivate and inspire salespeople, marketers, and entrepreneurs. Like, when shit gets hard, like, I'm fucking here to help you, to show you, 1, that if I could do it, you could do it. And 2, whatever you need, if you've got a problem and you're thinking about the world is over and you may end your life or your company or whatever, fucking reach out to me, because it's always darkest before the storm. Because I thought a million times, like, I'm going to shut everything down. I can't do it. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right team, location, people, money, whatever. And I am a perfect example of, like, dude, if this guy can do it, he's no smarter than you. You could do it too. And that's why I like talking about, like, the hardship. And the people that don't go through the hardship, I think over the long haul, don't make it. Like, you hear about those trust fund babies that try to do things, and, like, if you've got everything handed to you, dude, it's too easy. Like, you won't be able to survive the storm when it gets real tough.
And what advice would you give me for, my brand and what I'm working on?
I mean, you're already doing it, right? Like, you and I connect so well because, like, I feel like you and I have done 17 calls, right? And we're so connected on LinkedIn. And, like, what I like about you and me, you talk about the ant thing, right? Like, I could be like, like Zach and I, we do so much LinkedIn content. And there's 2 viewpoints. I look at Zach's LinkedIn content. I'm like, fuck, that's awesome. And I'm like watching his LinkedIn content to be like, what can I learn from what he's doing to skill up, to do better on my end, to make my message better. Then you've got the people out there that, like, would see, like, if I'm trying to build my brand and Zach's trying to build his brand, Zach's a competitor, right? Like, so I love that Zach and I are in the mindset of, we want both of us to be successful. We only compete with ourselves. We try to learn from each other. We bring each other up. We try to promote each other. Like, that's just how I operate. Yeah. Like, I actually had this guy, I blocked this guy yesterday. This fucking guy who's been following me, like, for years. He just keeps poking at different posts. Like, daggering. The people that will just, like, no matter what they post, it's like snarky. It tries to bring you down. It's like not an all-out attack, but it's just always fucking negative. Like, and I'm just like, dude, I've been dealing with this guy for years. I'm like, and what the last dag he did, which was yesterday, wasn't like a big dag, but I'm just like, dude, like, I'm going to keep throwing out so much value. And guess what? You know how fast it is for me to fucking block you? You will lose more money with me blocking you on what I could teach you than your little dags to make you feel better about yourself. Blocked him in an instant. I love blocking people, dude. Like, literally, like, luckily, like, out of the tens of thousands of followers, I have to block a percent of a percent of a percent.
But why not let him spread your message, though? Even if he's putting his own negative spin on it, those people still help you reach people of his connections. And
that's true, dude. But I don't know. It's a good point, and I love learning, right, and optimizing. So maybe next time. But, like,
I mean, if
I'm a
they
big
think of it
fan.
as the ant hill, right? The ant hill structure, that's a network with all these different passageways. It's equivalent of like
Totally.
just blocking one off, you know?
It was like, it was like
I mean,
imagine
you can block them if you want. I mean, I don't know the
imagine
full
an
context,
ant
but
that keeps like you've got the ant hill and then you got the ant that's trying to keep pulling people off the ant hill so it falls down. Like
yeah,
after
just,
a while, it's just like I let it go on for years, and that's why I'm like, you know what, done, dead to me, moving on.
yeah,
At some point, like, I want other people to realize that. Like, I
for
had to
sure.
block
Yeah.
out best friends that would do that. Always try to bring me down. Never happy for my success. Never happy for any of my companies. I'm talking like best friends. Like I love blocking negativity, family, parents, anyone that's super negative. I'll fucking block
Yeah.
because eventually that negativity will hold you back and create doubt in what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, and you just have to go all out. Like, so for you, looping it back together, like I love what you're doing. Like I say, go all out on sales, go all out on the branding, to go all out. Like for you to build a 50-person video company, if that's what you want to do, I'd say, fill the funnel with a shitload of leads. Like, okay, you're
Mhm.
going after industrial automation. Like Rockwell's a customer of ours. We got like, used to do a lot of digital marketing for all the industrial automation companies. Like, dude, they're way behind. They need
Yeah.
video. They need to be out there. Like I would say prospect every single company every single day, hard as hell, and do your branding and deliver value to them when you're reaching out to them. So I'd research
How do I
hundreds.
transition from like doing video, like video, more like video editing? Like I don't want to have a lot of employees. I just want to have a strong brand where, I maybe consult or help them, get set up, or like a lot of what I've been doing is like, if they have a conference, they'll like pay me to go to the conference just to be there and get the social media message out.
Yep.
But without actually having to deliver them any videos at all, because then that it is a little bit more
Work.
um yeah, and it's just not what I'm doing best at. I like talking to the people, and I like doing podcasts, and I like not having like releasing any control of my own message, essentially, like just being able to say what I want, right, without having a brand necessarily. I mean, brand sponsors are cool, like, I'm getting brand
Well, you can
sponsors
do
for the road
video.
trip I'm doing, but
Yeah, I love that.
does that make sense, like,
Yeah, I think you should do. I mean, I think you could do that. You just tell them the deal. Like, hey, like I think you could sell to all these companies. Tell them the way that you're doing it. But I also wouldn't force your product onto them. I would figure out what is their need, and then how
okay,
do you build a product around that need? Like, yeah,
okay,
dude, I want to, you know, uh, like I just want to speak 24/7, right? Or do branding 24/7. But my customers need sales leads. I have to build the world's best sales leads software. That takes a shitload of people, of engineers, salespeople, marketers, entrepreneurs, you name it. Like, what is the need of the market, and then how do I build a product to fill that need? Like, because your needs and wants no one cares about. They only care about like their needs and wants. So I would figure out, how do you tie your video passion to build a scalable product or service that services the industrial automation companies to accomplish their goal. And it's just just different, like a little bit of a mindset shift.